Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Sorry to be late. Was just looking at some other things and how to finish up a call here. Let me know in the chat panel if you can hear me and that you can see my screen. And while I'm waiting for that, awesome. Thanks, everybody. So today it's top tools for more listings. And let me know, if you don't mind, in the comments panel, how long have you been with us? And also, if you have listings or not. So just so you know, there are a number of ways to get listings, and we'll dive in and look at it. But we'll go down here to this section here. So actually running Facebook ads is a really easy way to get seller leads, like sold ads and maybe ads on What Is Your Home Worth. Google is also a great place to get seller leads, but they are more expensive. Okay. Now we also have marketing funnels in the shape of landing pages and also PDF guides. And you can use Facebook, or you can use free email tools, or you can use all the tools that we create to get seller leads. And then even email, there's stuff in there, and there's print. Yeah. And our nearby homeowner letter has historically been one of our strongest tools to get more seller leads. And I'll show you these tools now, but if you're new to us, or if you're just catching up and seeing what's going on the past couple of months, on our homepage are 3 videos of agents using our listing presentation to approach expireds. So when I describe these things here, and we're going to go into detail on how these other ways of marketing get listing leads, you have to remember you're capturing a lead. Maybe you're capturing a lead from Facebook. Maybe you're capturing a lead from Google. Maybe it's an email that you blasted out. All of our tools are designed to engage seller leads. But capturing a lead is cool. What's not so cool is converting a lead. That's really a hefty lift for many agents. And I think in any industry, converting an online lead to a conversation and a signature is a heavy lift. So these 3 videos that you're looking at here with JJ and with John Summers and Scott are all talking about working our expireds. And the different thing about working with expireds to get more listings is now you're talking to people who want to sell. They could not sell the home, right? And for whatever reason, it didn't sell. So now if you're able to reach out to them and have something that is solid to get that conversation moving, it's actually really a great strategy. It's a great way of getting more listings. So I'm going to talk definitely a little bit about this, but we've had so much going on. I want to make sure if you're thinking about getting more listings that you are watching all 3 of these calls. And I'm going to show you inside of our YouTube channel where you can watch the longer calls, because these are chopped down to make it easy. Yeah, Veda, you've been with us 1 year and no listings. Let me share the story right here of this girl here, JJ, on the cover. She's been out of high school for 3 years and has been a realtor for 1 year in a very small office account of ours up in Iowa, right? Like it's by this small lake. This is this is not a big metropolitan area. And she's pulled up 4 listings in 6 weeks using our listing presentation, reaching out to expired. So I'm going to show you where to watch that over on our YouTube channel. This gentleman here is also part of one of our big office clients in Lake Norman. He's been actually a banker for 20 years, and he's been a realtor for 15 months. And I think he's now on his 2nd or 3rd listing in just a few weeks, leveraging our listing presentation and reaching out to expireds. And Scott Murray over here, this guy's a 20-year veteran. I think he did 34 million in production last year. But in 3 days of door knocking with our listing presentation, and he knows they all know how to reach out to expireds. He added 2.7 million to his pipeline in 3 days of door knocking. Okay. Now to door knock, people are using something like this. If you can see my screen here, we have our listing presentation designed for expired homes, right? And you can order this. I'll show you inside. This is all branded to you on every page, your logo. And this is basically part of the story of how to quickly get listings. And I'll tell you, all 3 of these people and many more are working expireds right now, getting signatures right now for listings that want to list after the new year. So it's not a time to take a break. I know we're all busy. Everybody's way too busy right now, but you might want to make some time to get into this, get this to be part of your business, especially if you want listing. Now, when you log into your account, you will see that right here it says click to join. Scott's hosting 2 live training calls every business day, 5 days a week. Okay. And you should, if you want more listings, you absolutely need to get on those calls to understand the tools that we've designed for you and the ways to get them out in the market and the ways that the other agents are doing this. This is not just us like throwing stuff out there. There's a lot of agents getting involved with this, and they are all starting to get results. And if you need more listings, this is definitely something that you need to look at. So you right there, you can join that call there. And if you happen to miss this page, if you click this bell up here, there'll be notifications, and you can see you can sign up for the live call here, and you can sign up for the live call here. Okay. Now we do have, I'm going to go over here to the marketing calendar. This is in the top of the account here, right? And over here is a calendar with all kinds of tasks. I will point out every Tuesday of every week, we have how to market sold and pending listings. And guess what? That's how you get seller leads, by marketing sold and pending listings. Okay. We also have seller guides, and we have buyer PDF guides. You actually have 80 PDF guides over here on the left. Each of them branded you on every page with your colors, your logo, your headshot on every page. And every other week, it's for sellers. So you might want to work through this. And if you look over here on Thursday and Friday, you'll notice some of the things are designed to get sellers and others are designed to get buyers. So there's a lot of tools here to help you get more listings. But I want to point out this page here, which is resources. So this call that we're on together here, it is, oh, Tyler's been with us for 5 minutes. Welcome, Tyler, and no listing. I want you to get to marketing calendar, get to resources, and I want you to join our mastermind group over here. This is where you can sign up for all of our live classes down here, where it says reserve a spot. But I'm going to click here on YouTube, and you should definitely be watching our YouTube. So if you're new to us, and Tyler's new, and some of you are new, and some of you have been with us a long time, there's a lot to our platform, and it can really get overwhelming real fast. And we don't really want that for you, right? And so that's why you want to get on a few of our classes and focus on the things that are really creating results for our clients, for agents like you. And I'm going to list them off of right now, right up front. Facebook advertising. Our Facebook ad software gets name, email, and phone number every time. It's very easy. Our expired marketing, which I've been talking about, and our open house marketing. And then our listing presentation, which is actually involved in both open houses and especially expired. If you can concentrate on those 4 things, you're going to have a growing business in 2026. Okay. Now I went to our page, and when we bring you to the channel from this page here by clicking subscribe, you're landing on the home page. But I think it's easier, at least it is for me, to go to videos, especially to show you what I want you to see. And what I want you to see, remember that I mentioned the calls on the front page of our website. This is Scott Murray right here. Scott Murray is an agent with EXP, and he is a veteran in the industry. But boy, you want to listen to how he does his door knocking, because everybody wants to approach expireds, their own way, a different way. But this is a really solid, his approach to door knocking, he gives it to you right there. He gives you the recipe right there. If you scroll down this page, you will see that JJ here tells you exactly how she does it too. This is JJ Newman. It's almost 11 minutes long. It's not a big, long call. 4 listings in 6 weeks. Okay. And she's been out of high school for 3 years. So she's not like a super experienced agent, but we have the tools that are helping her get listings. Okay. And I'll show you a little bit where those tools are. We obviously have workshops twice a day, so we're not going to spend too much time there. This is John Summers. He's also on our cover. And you know what I like about his approach is he leaves a voicemail. His first step is leaving voicemails. And it's a good call. He gives you the call on that call there. It's only 12 minutes long. And however you want to do it, you want to door knock, you want to leave voicemails, or you want to do what JJ does, which she calls them, nobody answers, and then she texts them our listing presentation, and she wins 4 listings in 6 weeks. You can do it however you want to do it, but definitely look at those things because those are going to be very important. Now you'll see I have another call here, top tools for more listings. I do this every couple of weeks. So if you want to make sure you're getting solid at it, maybe watch a couple. And we also have calls on sold marketing and pending marketing, just exactly like what do you do in that step. So we're going to cover all those things today, but I want you to know that's what's going on over there on the YouTube channel. Now on the Facebook group, we actually have 2 mastermind groups, and you do have to be a client to be in these groups, okay? So if you come here the first time, there'll be a button that says join, and right here is where you can join the huddle for our classes. But also right here, I'm going to click on this one, this panel right here. We actually have, this is where we make it available for you. Hold on a second. Where is it? This is where you order these pamphlets, right? And so it's right here. There's a link that says order the pamphlets. And there's a process, right? You notice that it's going to be branded to you. You're going to be on the cover. You got to order this setup. I think it's like $70 or $80. And that's where we'll go back and forth to make sure we got the right look and you like the look of this. And then once you like it, then we say, great, go order them. Go order the copies right there. There's even a cover letter, which is actually really important, especially a lot of our clients like to print these. They'll go door knock, and if they don't door knock, they have a really nice envelope and they put that cover letter in there. However way you want to do it, we're giving you tools to knock that out, to do that. So that's right here in our mastermind group, which is here. And I'm going to point out, if you're going to work expireds, we even have a mastermind group right here, and I'll send it to everybody right now on this call, because this one's a little bit harder to get to. So it's more focused on leveraging our listing presentation to get more listings. Yeah, let's see here. Tina just responded. Well, oh yeah. You can see it's not just Scott and I talking here. It's other agents saying, hey, here's how we're doing it, right? So definitely check these things out. And the whole thing about the listing presentation is that you can use it with expireds. You can use it with canceled. You can obviously use it with seller leads, and you can use it for FSBOs as well. So if you're trying to get listings, these are where you're going to get this. So let's go over to the listings page real fast and just talk briefly about the listing presentation, okay? First of all, if you're a client, we've already created one for you. If you go to the listings page, you'll see a tab here that says listing presentation. And when you click listing presentation flipbook, we've already got this baked, okay? And now don't get thrown off. Mine has my branding on it. Yours is going to have your branding, your color scheme, your logo, and your headshot. And when you go through, this is a comprehensive story of what we do for all of our clients when they have a listing in the system. We give you ways to run ads on Facebook and Instagram. We give you social media marketing, right? We actually do that automatically. We create a virtual tour and put it on YouTube. We put it on our channel. If you have your own channel, great. We'll put it on yours too. We have print marketing tools. We have a nearby homeowner letter. We have email marketing tools. This is what Listings to Leads does. But now, since you're a client of ours, you bring this to the table. And this page that we're looking at right here is usually what closes the deal. It literally, because you can create this for a particular home and then ask somebody, hey, why don't you scan that? And their home will pop up on their phone. Then it goes through the ways that you actually, what you do in your process of selling the home, open house marketing, just listed things like that. There's even a page with all of your reviews on the back, okay? So this thing is rock solid. It's sitting right here. But if you go to my listings page, you'll notice that I have a listing already set up for a canceled and for an expired, okay? And this expired, you might find an expired in the MLS. You might be a client of My Plus Leads. You might have RedX. You might have some resource that you're getting expireds and you want to reach out to them. When you do that, you might want to create their listing in your account the way that I have, which is basically with their name and their address and one photograph, nothing else. Once you've done that, We have a flip book. And so what we were looking at, the online magazine, it's actually, this is now for one home, okay? And it's got the homeowner's name on it and their address. And if you go through the listing presentation, which is the same one we were just looking at, it has their home on every page. So they can start to visualize what you actually going to be doing. And I do think, and I know from just a lot of feedback from our clients, people are impressed that you've actually gone through this, right? Because this looks like you're already working for them and doing some work. So they're going to be engaged in this. And I want to stop here again. If you have gone through the steps to create an expired listing inside of your account or a FSBO listing inside of your account, stop on this page and say, hey, homeowner, while we're sitting here at the kitchen table, scan that with your smartphone. And you're welcome to do it now while we're sitting here chatting, because that home will pop up on a mobile optimized website right on your phone. And that page right there, we have heard time and time again, is basically closing the deal, okay? So like I said, you can do that inside of your own account, right? Let me close this one. So if I go to listings, you'll notice that I do have one. Let's go look again. Set up as, well, I have one set up as a listing presentation down here. I have one set up for a FSBO because I'm reaching out to a FSBO, and then one for a canceled and one for an expired. So how do we do that? Right? That's the first thing. How can we create that for ourselves? We click on add listing here on the top, okay? And we manually add a listing, okay? And whenever you do that, the default position here is just listed. But actually, you can do it right here to a listing presentation and down here at the bottom as a FSBO or expired or canceled. Either way, you're going to have the same exact, I'm going to do expired. Notice now it's saying what's their name, and you could just put in whatever their name is. You don't have to put in a headline because they may never get there, but you do want their address because you know that's going to pop up on the cover page. And you don't need any of this, and you just add one photo, okay? Now you can get photos from Google Street View. You can run them through ChatGPT if you want. Some people even grab them from realtor.com, things like that. I recommend that you just take your smartphone, drive to the house, hold your phone horizontally and snap a pic and upload it. Because now it's yours, not going to have any trouble anywhere, and it's going to look good because you shot it. But once you've done that, now that's going to sit right here. And we'll come back to this page. And now whether it's canceled, expired, FSBO, or listing presentation, if you click here at the top will be a flip book. Okay. And that's it. Now, I'm going to just tell you, if we go back to the story going on YouTube, JJ, what she was doing is she was reaching out. She was finding FSBOs that are expired. Finding expireds in her MLS and creating a listing presentation just like that, right? With a picture of the home, the named homeowner. She would call them twice. Nobody answers. She would text them once, would you like to see my listing presentation? No answer. And then she would send this to them via text. And there's their home in this thing. And in 6 weeks has 4 listings. When I say 4 listings in 6 weeks, that was 3 weeks ago. I guarantee you she has more listings right now because she is going full throttle to have 20 listings by March. And I'm pretty sure she's going to get there. We'll probably have another call with her in the spring to say what's going on. And we'll probably be talking about open house marketing because that's another great way of getting listings. Okay. So I think you guys all get the expired story. If you have questions, please let me know. But I will now transition to open house marketing because it is actually, for all of 2025, for almost all of it, it was the #1 way our clients were getting listings. Okay. Which is really funny to say because I talk to realtors all the time. And if I ask a realtor, do you hold open houses? I would just say 50-50, no. 50 will, 50 won't. New agents will, and I know there's some new agents here, right? More seasoned agents might have listings, but may not have the time to hold the open house, right? So you definitely want to take advantage and go over here and go to listings and say, hey, can I sit at your open house for you? If the answer is yes, go to here, add listing, grab listing, put in the zip code and MLS ID, deselect it so we don't put a YouTube video together for you. And you have you can add the open house date and time if it doesn't come in automatically. And here I have an open house. So let's talk about why this gets more listings. Okay. Now, first of all, if you have an open house, you should run an ad on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, not on Friday for Saturday or Sunday open house. Okay. And it's very easy. You click Facebook and you do that. Now we have a class that it goes in depth on all this, but I want to show you the key things that are getting seller leads. That is the nearby homeowner letter. We actually create this for every listing in your account. And this letter is going to say that you got an open house, right? So if you print this letter 50 or 100 times and you start door knocking it on Wednesday for your weekend open house, if people are thinking of selling their home, they can, one, go right here to this webpage and go get their free home value, or two, come join you at your open house. And so we call it a nearby homeowner letter. Yeah, maybe some buyers will see it, but most people own homes in the neighborhood. So if you got an open house in a neighborhood where you want more listings, sit on the open house, print up 50 or 100 of these and get them in the neighborhood. Okay. Now there are other cool tools, like you got an e-flyer for your database. You can email that out on your CRM, blast your CRM. There's a open house links here, get your home value here and here. So definitely use our e-flyer for your databases to get seller leads all the time. But I will jump over to another couple of things. One, at the open house, we have a video for you. So if the home is furnished, or if you have a laptop with Wi-Fi, you want to make sure you are running this. And it's the 100 plus marketing plan. It is the long version. So we've seen it a few times. I've shown the print version of our listing presentation. So now where you can order those. But here, if my computer ever starts working here, we have a video version right here. Okay. And this is the title right here. It's on YouTube already. It's got some really groovy music on it. You could turn that off. But if you got a smart TV and you've got homeowners walking through your house because you knocked out 50 or 100 nearby homeowner letters, there's now a 5-minute commercial with really funky music telling people, this is how I sell a home. And let me tell you, this is very different from what most agents are doing. That's why our listing presentation is closing so many deals for our clients. So host open houses, get this either on your laptop or your iPad, or get it up on an 80-inch screen TV, so that as people are walking through and homeowners walking through, they're going to want to talk to you. And I can tell you, I've got office owners doing this. We've got agents doing this. And we have a lot of teams who are hosting 2 to 4 open houses every week, because that was their top way of getting more business, more listings, more buyers. Okay. Can we text to the phone numbers on the DNC list? That's a good question, Sophia. You do need to make sure you're cognizant and conscious of that. If you're running ads, let's just say that you're running an ad with our software. Okay. And you're going to run an ad on an open house. Okay. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to create a listing ad, and I've got an open house. And it doesn't matter what kind of ad you're running with our software. We actually have TCPA language built into it, which is privacy language, and they are accepting that you can call them. Okay. Now, if you're just reaching out to an expired because you saw it on the MLS, you need to make sure that those people are appropriate to call. Okay. And that's why our clients like things like RedX or My Plus Leads or some other resource to do that. So here, I've got an open house. I'm going to say lead ads. Now, this is how you get the buyers in, right? And once you click that button, we write the ad. You can add this, you can change this if you want. But a $35 ad, we'd suggest that you change that to minimum 50. If it's a $50 budget, that ad will be seen by about 2,000 people and probably pick up somewhere between 13 and 16 leads with name, email, and phone number. Now, if you watch our Facebook ad class, you'll see why that all works and all kinds of fun things to do to make this even different. But that's the short story. But what I wanted to show you is they see a form when they click it. And first, it's going to grab their name, email, and phone number. That's why our clients over Facebook ads. But that language right there means you agree to be reached. Okay, Sophia? So if you're getting the lead from a ad, yes, you can reach out, even if they're on do not call. But if it's an expired or a canceled or FSBO, you need to have another resource to figure that one out. If you're not using something like My Plus Leads or RedX, we do have our own link. It's an affiliate link, but there's something very interesting. I'm going to share this with you. It does cost $70 a month. They will give you all, I'm going to share this with everybody right now. They will give you all of the FSBO and expired data, but when you're on that 30-day trial, I don't know if you can see it, it says 30-day trial here. When you're on that, they only give you 30 days of back data, okay? So if you're going to use this link, tell them after you sign up that you're working with listings to leads and ask them for 6 months back data of expireds, because they know us and that's what they said they would do for our clients, okay? We definitely recommend this because you need to have some sort of resource that's going to get you. And if you already have this and you already know this yourself, but there are other companies like RedX and a few others that have this kind of data. If you don't have this, you might want to explore this. But if you do, make sure that you ask them for the 6 months back. And really, you should start reaching listings expired when they're like 2 or 3 months old, expired. Okay. If you call them day one, you're not going to have a lot of success because the more people are being called by dozens of agents. Okay. So that's a little bit about expireds, a little bit about open houses. Let's talk about what has been for many years the number one way of getting listings. When I say this, actually, this tool captures the highest amount of, or the highest quality of seller leads. And that might not be true anymore because I think that the quality of expired seller leads with our system is actually blowing this out of the water. But I want to show this to you anyway. So I have a home that's sold, and a lot of our clients use what I'm about to show you when they have a just listed home or a sold home. So let's click market listing and see what we're talking about. It's the nearby homeowner letter. Now, this is this piece of paper. I showed it to you a moment ago when it was an open house. And that's because we have this available on every one of your listings. Now, you see this company up here. Let's look at it real fast before we dive into how to get it out. So it's very simple, right? We keep it tight. There's not a lot to read. It's really designed for our modern world, which, what do we have, like 15-second attention span? You can scan this in about 5 seconds and know I want my home value or I don't. So people, when they get this letter, can walk to their own computer, go to that website, type in their address, and then type in their email address and get their instant home value. Boom, right there. That's if you're in the United States. If you're in Canada or Caribbean or Latin America, that instant home value doesn't work, okay? But if you're mailing this to people in the neighborhood where you just sold a home, whoever's going to open that and read that and walk over to their computer and type in that address, then their address and their email, they are really thinking of selling their home. So those are high quality leads. But I will say, if you mail out 100 of these and you got 2 high quality leads, that would be pretty awesome. You don't get a high volume of leads, okay? That's the point. But they are high quality leads. Now, you see there's a button here that says Express Copy. If you come here the first time, that button will be green and it'll say connect to Express Copy. And I have an account with Express Copy and I'm connected. Now I have a green button that says print and mail. So I'm going to click that and let's talk about this a little bit. If I click Get Mailing List, Express Copy will download the letter. They will fold it and put it in envelopes and mail it to homeowners that have owned a home for more than 6 years. Okay. And you can decide how many miles you want as a radius. And this is awesome. We were very excited when we did this because it takes one of our hardest tools and makes it much easier for our clients to get it out. Okay. And right here, it's telling you there's 1,000 addresses found, right? But you're only doing 100 for $182. Okay. So that is a simple way to get that out. But let's go back to our mastermind group and talk about a more complex way, but a complex way that has incredible results. And this lady here, Pat, has been a client of ours for many years. And this is actually a couple years old, but I can tell you, it is remarkable. It's incredible. So she takes our Nearby Homeowner letter and prints up 100 every time she has something just listed and every time she has something just sold. And when she's done printing that batch of 100, she flips it over and prints on the back so that it looks just like this. She uses Microsoft Publisher to do that. And once she's done doing that, she hand folds them and hand writes these addresses. Okay. And why would she do all that when we can do it in 2 clicks right here? The reason is that on the first batch of 100, which was just listed, she got 4 listings out of that. 4 people called her. They didn't even respond via the paper. And this batch, she got another 4 responding. So definitely check that out. If you like that template, she actually gave everybody the template. It's right here on September 19th, 2023, Pat Motley. And that you can customize so that it looks just like your address and the streets that are relevant to you. However you get that out, and that letter has been a top tool for many years. Some of our clients just print it and they go by really colorful envelopes, right? So it doesn't look like bulk mail. You want it to get open. That's about it. Now, I mentioned eFlyer for your database. If you've got a bunch of leads in your CRM, copy this right up here. And 1, 2, 3 ways, all of these links are going to get you seller leads. Okay. So that's a few of the very important tools. But I also want to say, when a home is sold, this is the easiest way to get seller leads. Okay. You go to the listing, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to go backwards and we're going to start over. Okay. Because I know I'm jumping around a lot, and let's just make sure we know how to do this one function, because this is easy and you do get seller leads. And I highly recommend doing this. And I'll explain it to you why. So when you have a home that's sold or a home that's pending or under contract, you click market listing. And then you have all these things that are happening automatically. But if you want leads with name, email, and phone number, you click this button that says Facebook and Instagram ads. And you go right down here and click create ad. You literally don't have to do anything else to make this work. It's that easy. And you're going to get leads with name, email, and phone number. And if they go through, and let me show you what happens. Okay. They see the ad, they click on it, and a window pops up, and it will ask them, do you want a seller guide, or maybe any of the questions that you added from over here? But then their name, email, and phone number pop up. And right now, if you're looking at this, you can maybe read full name and email and phone number. But here it's blank. When an ad is active, and whoever clicks on that form is auto-populated, okay? It's auto-populated from the people who clicked on it. So nobody has to fill anything in. And this is so important and so powerful. Now, then there's the TCPA language. And then it says, yes, submit my info. I want that information. And then it says, great, click here to get your home valuation. So they can click there, drop in their address, and they'd get an instant home value. Okay. So at this point, if you run this kind of ad, you should have their name, phone number, email, and mailing address. And if they didn't give you the address, text them, because now you have their phone. Say, hey, I see you wanted your home value, but we didn't get your address. Can I get your address so I can get that for you? And hopefully they say yes. And you drop it in your home value page, which is over here. And then you drop in their email. So this home value page, this is where we send them from both in my homeowner letter or from that ad. So they have to drop in their address and then give you their email, and that's how they get the instant valuation. But since you ran the ad and you have their name, phone number, and email, even if they didn't give you the address, you can say, hey, I see you wanted your home value. We didn't get your address. Can you send that to me? And I will get you the value right now. And you drop in their address, you click get an estimate. It says, what's your email? And you have that because you got it from the lead. And you drop that in and it's going to go boom. And it's going to email them the home value and update them once a month. I hope you're following along with what I'm saying there. That is how you really make sure to convert leads to an actual transaction. So remember at the beginning of the call, I said, hey, there are ways to capture leads, and then there are ways to convert leads. And if you're doing open house marketing or expired marketing, you're really reaching people who are really thinking about selling. But there's another step. Now that you're running ads, normally when you're running an ad, it literally takes 2 months or 2 weeks or 2 years to convert a lead, right? But now if you're running ads on sold properties or under contract properties and you're getting seller lead, the name, email, and phone number, what you might want to do, especially when you get their address, is go over here to your listings and create manually a listing presentation. First, get them the home value. Get them the home value. And that's going to be like a range of numbers, right? But remember, I have a listing presentation and an expired already set up. You can actually create a listing for that lead and say, by the way, I just sent you your home value, but here, this is how I sell a home. And you create that listing for their, because you know their address, you know their name because you got it in the lead. And now, you can send this to them either in email or in text, or hopefully both, right? Because this thing is closing deals all over the place, right? How do we get your home sold? You already know they want their home value. If you create this and it's got their name and it's got their address and it's got their home throughout this presentation, I think that's going to help you convert those seller leads from Facebook a lot easier. Okay. So that's kind of what you can do with listings when they are later stage, under contract, pending, or sold. Run ads on them on Facebook. Those are typically easy, low-cost leads to get. It's just they're harder to convert. But if you use our listing presentation to convert, I think you're going to convert a lot more. You're going to get a lot more discussions going on. So let's go over and let's talk about landing pages and social content. And landing pages, you may not know this when you sign up, we already give you like a half dozen landing pages, right? I think even more now. But these three on top, we are auto posting for you, okay? And this one here, home values, it's auto. I'm gonna click this edit pencil because I don't know where all of you are sitting in the country. But if this page that we're about to look at doesn't look like your market, for instance, we've got a lot of clients in Florida. We have a lot of clients in Arizona and Texas. And this page may, if you're like in places like Maine or the Pacific Northwest, right? So in order to make that background picture look good, just click on the over here where it says background and upload a picture about 1,500 or 2,000 pixels wide. That looks like your area because this is going to be auto embedded in many of your tools. All right. So I would take that step. But once you have that, yeah, you can run ads on, I just clicked on marketing tools. Sometimes I go too fast. Marketing tools right up here. Once you've made sure that this looks like your area, you could run an ad on Facebook. Okay. These, I just want to point out, and we do this as not as a traffic ad, but as a lead ad. So you can get name, email, and phone number, just like I showed you, right? And then when they click on it, they can give you their address. If they don't, you can say, oh, I didn't get your address, right? So you target this way. There's actually more involved with this. Like you don't really want to go out generic. You want to create, if you're doing Portland, you want a picture of Portland in the background of that thing, right? And you want the page to speak about Portland, and you can actually create that. I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. But you can also run ads on Google, and Google's a good place to run ads. We can share, we already share this automatically to your social media accounts. but we even give you an email, an e-flyer that you can blast out on your own CRM, which has all kinds of lead capture there. And I tell you, I actually have a client who has an office down in San Antonio, Texas. And what he does is he creates a landing page for his town, for San Antonio. And you should create a landing page for every one of your towns. I'm going to show you what he does, which frankly is pretty smart. So you can create a landing page for San Antonio or Orlando or whatever city you're in, even for a neighborhood. And as long as you have a picture in there that kind of looks like that area, you've got some good marketing tools. Now I have a picture of the Riverwalk, which is right downtown, right? So I'm going to do it as a lead ad because I like naming my phone number. But I don't even know if he runs ads on this. I'm going to show you what he does because it's really smart. So he's got an office, right? So he goes over here to postcards and door hangers, and he downloads this door hanger and he sends it over to Vistaprint. Now, I've heard that Amazon has printing too, so you might want to test something like that out. But what he does is he gives this, he'll give a stack to his agent and say, hey, go over and door knock those streets. And just don't even door knock, just hang them and walk. And then he'll give another stack to another agent, hey, you go walk those streets, and so on and so forth. And he can quickly tell who is walking the streets and who is not, because he's getting seller leads, because we make it super easy. Scan that and get your home value. They land on that page that looks like San Antonio or whatever city you're creating it for. And he says the reason he does it at Vistaprint is their cost for printing is super low. So if you've got a neighborhood, I was just talking to an agent this morning who said she's got a farm area that she's been working for a while, and it's now starting to produce some business. I would highly recommend printing this and door knocking that neighborhood because it's totally branded to you. And now that they're responding to your brand, or if you're farming, they can quickly get their home value. That's just a really awesome tool to have. So landing pages, I'm going to click Create Landing Pages, and Property Valuation Plus is the instant home value page. So you can type in any name of the city that you want, right? Just like that, and click Create Landing Page. You'll get a generic landing page. It'll look like this. And you should put a picture of something that everybody in that town's going to know. I'll tell you something, just a lot of agents think you need to put a new custom built, a new mansion, one of the new builds in these, but that actually is not really what works, right? Because not everybody's home may look like that, right? Let me show you this. So I set up the office accounts around the country. So if you need a team account or an office account, you email me at Vincent Leads. And years ago, we set up Coldwell Banker in Summit, New Jersey. And I do rollout calls, right, to get everybody going, to get them to show what's going on. And the manager called me and he said, wow, Vince, we're getting leads all over the place. And he said, but the number one home valuation ad is the landing page that has the Summit Diner in the back. Okay. And you got to think of this. Summit, New Jersey is a small town. It's, I think, 24,000 people there. And this is a converted railroad car, right? You get the greasy bacon and eggs and all that. But if you're in Summit, New Jersey, you know the Summit Diner. And that's the point of creating a landing page and asking somebody for their contact information and address. They don't know who you are. And if you want to establish any kind of trust, put in a picture of something that everybody knows. Okay. I will tell you this. A lot of agents will see this and they'll just run out on the generic page. No link, no words at all about the town they're hoping to get listings in. And it doesn't work. They're often disappointed and they're wasting a lot of money, right? So you really want to take those extra steps and create a landing page for the specific area you want. And then when you're targeting, there's some ways to target there as well. I will point this out. If you have a substantial farm, okay, meaning many of you work in 4 or 5 different, even 10 different towns, right? But maybe you live in one, or maybe there's one town where you really want more business because maybe the price point's right or the turnover's right. You should be creating a landing page for that town, right? And I have one right here for Walnut Creek, and that's a town right near me, right? So I'm going to click on marketing tools, and oh, we're going to run late here, so my apologies. I'll keep it brief. Okay. I've created this landing page, and in the picture is the mall, which is downtown Walnut Creek. And this is a very popular mall. So now you can see that it actually says, what's your potential home value? And the pictures of the mall where everybody hangs out, and it's sponsored by my business page. You would think that if I type in Walnut Creek, I'd be good to go. That's it. I got a page that shows Walnut Creek's in the text. I could even type, what is your Walnut Creek home worth now, right up here. But I would still be in trouble. This could still blow my money. Let me show you why. You see that Walnut Creek in 15 miles? There is the problem. Okay. So let me show you what I deal with in my market. Now, I don't know what you're dealing with because I don't know where you live, but you got to ask yourself this. If you're running an ad on Facebook and you are talking about a town like Walnut Creek, if you're like out like where JJ is out, like there's no towns within miles of her. She's by a lake and maybe there's a couple towns there. Then a 15-mile radius is no problem at all. But I'm in an area, I'm in a county called Costa Conta County, okay? And a 15-mile radius really hits like the entire county, all right? And let's give it a second. My computer, I hope you guys can hear me. This is looking a little bit slow. What's the problem here? See if I can get this to work. The problem is for me in Walnut Creek, California, is we have in a 15-mile radius, at least 1 million people who don't live in Walnut Creek that are going to see this ad. Okay. That right there in the center is Walnut Creek. And if I back out a little bit, everything we see here is more than 1 million people that are going to see this ad that don't live in Walnut Creek. And that can be problematic. And so I want to think to make that ad work really well. And let's see, where am I? Got too many tabs open. So instead of typing Walnut Creek here and 15-mile radius, you could click this button here. That testimonial is called Walnut Creek Homeowners. You would type that in right there. So how do you create that custom audience? You go to the ads page. And by the way, we were talking about My Plus Leads earlier, but you can get this kind of data set from many other companies. ListSource.com, Remind.com. I think My Plus Leads have it, Vulcan 7. Right here, it says create audience on the ads page. And you can call this audience anything you want. And what it is, you're creating a list. So you got to buy the list from another company. And you got to get it inside of Facebook so that instead of saying 15-mile radius around Walnut Creek, you're basically saying only hit the people on that list. So if those people who are on that list are on Facebook that week, they're going to see your ad. Excuse me. And that makes Facebook incredibly powerful. Okay. So you call it Walnut Creek Homeowners. It's got to be a minimum of 1,000 leads long. 1,000 contacts, right? So if you're talking about a small neighborhood where there's 500 homes or 700, you need to make sure that list is 1,000 long. And it has to look just like this. It says use this format and titles. Your spreadsheet has to look just like that. I don't think you want these spreadsheets longer than 10,000. I had somebody call me a couple of weeks ago and he had 4 lists that were 40,000 leads long, each list. And Facebook wouldn't accept it. So I think they need to be a maximum of 10,000. But a minimum of 1,000. Can these landing pages be used for social media, Instagram posts? Yes, we automatically post them, Adrian, to your social media accounts. When you connect your profile, when you sign up down here, we actually put you through a wizard and we ask you to connect your social media accounts. And that's here. And one of those pages gets auto-posted. And any landing page you create will auto-post to there. There's a button and you just tell us to auto-post it. So yeah, definitely. But we auto-post to all these platforms right here. That's on your profile. So everybody, thanks for hanging out with me today. Sorry I was late and sorry that we are running on late here. I do want to say one last thing about Facebook ads, because it is the middle of December and a lot of your competition had turkey and mashed potatoes a few weeks ago, and they are now taking a nap till spring. And the cost of leads, any leads on Facebook and probably Google, is going to drop. The pricing on leads is set by Facebook. And one of the criteria is how many people are competing against you at the same time. And my guess is a lot of your competitors are taking a nap until spring. They do every year. We have seen lead costs drop by 50% in some years. And we even saw one year where it dropped by 90%. So this is a good time to build your database from, you want to use them on your own post, Adrian, just copy and post them on your own posts. Yeah, if you don't want us to automatically do it, just copy and share. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope this helps. Don't forget to get on our YouTube channel. If you're still here, I'll send it to you right now. Get involved with our expireds. That will be your top resource. I think expired is going to be the top way of getting listings in 2026. It's already at the end of 2025, quickly becoming the top way for our clients right now. I'm sending this link to you right now. Tyler has a question coming up on 2 years. Oh, you're just now learning about the presentation. Wow. Okay. But first time with listings to leads presentation. Thank you. Yeah, good. Yeah, use that. Like I said, it's funny. Our listing presentation, I mentioned JJ. She's a rookie at high school for 3 years. I mentioned an agent for 14 months. John Summers here, an agent for just over a year. A banker before. This lady right here, Terry Ann, she was an agent. She was at 20 years in the Coast Guard, moves to Florida, been there for 1 year, taking care of her daughter, helping her daughter, whatever, for 1 year, barely has a license, but didn't do anything. First thing she does, gets a listing lead, signs up with us, uses our listing presentation, and closes it on the very first day of working with us. The second day, right? First day we set it up, the next day she went, and that's what it works. So it's funny that the rookies are getting so much value out of our listing presentation because they're just using what's working. They're doing expireds, they're doing open houses. We're gonna get a lot of our early agents to get super productive in 2026, and I hope we're able to help all of you. Again, everybody, enjoy the rest of the holidays. Keep safe out there, and thanks. And get in our mastermind group and get in our expired working group as well. Take it easy, everybody.